Hey guys, this is Planethead. Welcome back. Flying with Planethead. Uh, um, I died. uh, I died in my little magnet, and I have a new one. So little history going on. I will tell you during this video. I'll give you an update as to how I died and why I'm so why I have a smile on my face. Um, this is actually my second try at a video. The first one, I didn't hit the start button and I dropped a couple F-bombs after I went about 15 minutes and realized I'd been recording. Maybe I should get into the whole uh, create the video and then dub over at some point, but no. Um, so I'm on my little laptop here again. I'm trying something a little bit different today. I'm going with just my laptop, not putting in the second monitor. See if it works out a little bit better. So you'll see me popping screens up and down. I'm working on the stability of the system. It is, again, just a laptop. Um, Maybe someday, whenever I get my office up and running, I'll get a desktop back again and have some fun again. Uh, but in the meantime, um, couple things. I always like to do a shout out for free things. How do I make my videos? I make it using OBS 27. I think I need to do an upgrade on this. I always click, no, I don't want the upgrade. But this is a free um, recording piece of software. I'm not getting anything for doing this because it's free. But I do like to point out anything that's free. I think in my videos I will probably be doing a lot more of free stuff because, like I'm playing with my alpha character right now. Um, if you're new to the videos, uh, I I will link a list, the link to the playlist. This is my try for 100 Days of Flying as an alpha character. I've played before, but I'm a little more focused this time. Um, and if you want to know more, go back to those other videos. The link will be in the description to the beginning of the playlist. I try to keep these videos under 30 minutes, so let's keep going. So this is my new magnet. It is named the Kamachka. I'll talk to you about that later on. It is a new name for ships that I'm using, and I will start using this name a lot more. Um, but you want to know how I died. I want to know how I died. So we're going to go get right into it here. Um, if you watch my last video, I was out here in Stain flying around. I was being chased a little bit in this area here with some combat probes. Nothing crazy, just giving you. It was just an example of how you want to keep an eye out for how somebody might be trying to scan you down. If they're good, they'll realize that you've noticed them, they've noticed you, and they'll move on. I've had times where people have tried to combat pro me down for like 30 minutes to an hour while I'm moving around, and it's kind of fun because it's like a cat and mouse thing. Um, but I was able to hide up in DK6 and log off, so I was good. Um, Part of the reason why I'm out here is to set up some save points. And each one of these systems now that I've been through, I've been able to check out and drop some save points in. So when I do go back, which I will be on my way today, I've got some safe spots to go to while I scan and just get my bearings in each system. Why am I coming out here? This is Stain. I've never really spent any time whatsoever. I think in my prior gameplay, I've spent like a half a day here total, and I want to try it out. It is NPC nullsec. Basically, if you notice here, each one of these systems is owned by the Sancha cartel or whatever it is, the Sancha group. It's a pirate organization. So a lot of NPC organization or player organizations who aren't that huge fly out here, from what I understand, and live here because they can live out of some of these stations. What am I looking for? Um, I'm looking for something very similar to what I had with my other character in Syndicate. This is a little bit different of a system, but what I'm looking for are areas that have, see that little yellow triangle there? That means that these NPC stations have industry where I can build cheap ships to fly around Stain and Diane a lot. Buy cheap ships and die. Uh, that's my goal. I have very limited, low expectations. The toughest part is getting out here and getting set up. Once you get set up, you can basically do stuff all the time. Some pointers as to what I'm looking for specifically. So yesterday, the reason why I was down here was there were two systems here that had the yellows, and I wanted to see what they were like. Well, there were some people living there, not a huge number, but some people. I'm looking for an area that doesn't have any full-time residents, or at least full-time residents while I'm playing. There are a lot of people in a lot of time zones in this game, so you'd be amazed how you can be in a system for 8 hours and not see anybody, but then I'm in the United States, maybe an Asian group or EU group is living in that same group of systems or that same constellation, but at a different time of the day. So really, you're just looking for a time where you're free. And so I was checking this out, and during my time, there were people that were there. So I started moving on. Now, if you notice here, there's a red mark here versus a black mark for the connection of the systems. This means I'm going from one constellation to the next one. And when you see things like this is the first little bit of a scary spot here because it is only one jump, one to another. And when you jump through, you have to be careful because there may be a bubble on the other side. Ways to get around that or look for it while you're on your own are to use the in-game map. I think I showed in the last game where you can see how many ships are in space in the last half hour. It doesn't give you a perfect number. It's only the average for the last hour. But if there is nobody here, then there can't be any bubbles or anybody to kill you. So I was scanning around, watching the map, and I got through here. Had no problems. There was somebody here, but they weren't bubbling it. And I started looking around these systems. And I actually flew over here, checked out these two stations. There were a couple of people here, not real active, but dropped some save spots. I was really happy. Now I've got save spots in two separate constellations. And I set up, I wanted to move down to this area here, check out this station and here. Now here's the big one, and this is where you really want to be ready to not fly anything expensive if you're flying the way I am. And this is where I died. But I'm not unhappy about it. If you can understand, the one thing that you want to look out for is, again, notice how there's a jump to here and here. That's the only way through. Right here is the same thing, but even more importantly, right here is the same thing. Now, I have to look it up. Let's look at my kill report. It's been a while since I've done this. I just thought of this a second ago. Pilot, I don't think it's in my history. Decorations, attributes, jump clones, and maybe it is in my history. Employment, no. Pilot services? Nope. Character. Biography, decorations, expert systems. I swear. Where's my kill report? Attributes. No. Jump clones, no. My home station. Let's try history again. Did I miss it? Skills. There's the skills that I've done. We talked about that here in a little bit. Now I feel dumb. You guys are probably going, it's under the such and such tab. If you're bored right now, move on. Did they move it? Did they change it on me since I used to play? Kill reports. So jump clones, attributes, decorations, medals, permissions, experts. I know it's not under. Okay, now I feel stupid. Ooh, I know where I can go. Because I should have a kill report on my history here. Kill report. Ah, that was faster. Okay, so this is where I died L6B TAC ON to Mr. Cosby. He was flying in a, what is that there? That was in an interdictor cruiser. Oh no, I'm sorry, just an interdictor something something. Doesn't matter. Sorry, went down a rabbit hole. So I died in L6B. There we go. So let's go back over the map. So I died in L6B. So it was from this jump to here. Um, so I was right. So here's the thing to look at. Number one, you've got the red um, going from one constellation to another. Number two, I died on this gate right here. Now, if you want to set up a trap, this is the spot you want to look for because there's only one way in and one way out. It's a one-way strip. So this is where you're going to drop your interdiction spheres to try to catch people like me. Whereas up here, if you drop a interdiction sphere here, then somebody could be coming in from this direction or coming in from this direction. I will do that a lot just to test out an area. I was doing that over here. That's how I was not able to be killed. It literally lowers your chance of death by 1/2. But this way, you've only got one way in, one way out. My goal is to get past this with my magnate. Can't be somebody there all the time. Once you get the magnate past there, then only fly around in areas that have multiple entrances and exits to limit my chances of dying, and then use wormholes to get in and out. So, give you an example. So here's another spot here that you'd want to be careful of because there's one way in, one way out. Other areas down. Now this is not a throughfare, but this one's a huge one right here. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got to be really careful going through there. Just really, you got to be ready to die if you're doing this. If you do not want to fly anything expensive, or if you've got friends, take them through. So, I actually jumped through into this. Now, why am I smiling? Because, and I'll try to keep this short. The last video that I tried to make that I didn't hit record on, I think I over-explained this. So I jumped through. A lot of times when you see you're in a sphere, you get crazy. You're like, oh, I need to jump away. Everything that I've read, I feel like I did, and I almost got away, even with my limited ship and my limited skill. When I jumped through, there was the interdiction sphere around the bubbled around it. I did the first thing, the most important thing that I've read that you need to do. I took a breath. I stopped for 5 seconds. I've actually taken this into, I'm a trainer at my job. I've taken this into when I'm training people how to drive things. If you get into a scary situation, before you do anything, take a breath. I've learned that from Eve and taken that to the real life, and I did that. When I took that breath, I realized you have, I think, 60 seconds, if not 30 or 60, I can't remember what it is, to make your decision as to what you do. And when I looked at it, I realized I had the sphere, and I was on one side of the gate, and he was about 17 kilometers on the opposite side of the gate. The other thing I realized was I was near the edge of the bubble. So looking at this, and the edge was the opposite side of him. So I was like, oh, I actually have a chance to get away here. So 2 bonuses there. So my first thought is you have to get out of the bubble. Second one is to stay as far away from him as possible. The third one is have that jump point. The negatives I have is my skills are really suck right now. So my turning speed, and my acceleration are really bad. And he's flying a better ship than me. So I was able to turn around and line with the camera, line him up with me, line myself up to the edge of the bubble, and I waited about 10 seconds through. That's the other part too, is if you wait, sometimes somebody else will come through the gate and either get tackled by them or, and here's the crazy part, you can use them as a distraction. Um, that gate goes off. His initial reaction is going to be, ooh, somebody else is coming through the gate. I need to watch. That's when you make a run for it. But I was able to. The problem I had was I had to do a full 360 to get out of the bubble. And then the thing I noticed was I didn't have anywhere to jump to once I got out of the bubble. I would have to realign to another spot. And with my low skills, I was able to actually get outside of the bubble before he was able to tackle me. But as I was turning to jump to the next spot, he tackled me and killed me. Um, why am I smiling? Because that was gameplay. It was fun. I lost a free ship. I got a lot of stuff done. I was able to actually map out and see this whole area up here. I still have so much more to look at. I learned something. I feel like I played the game right, and I wasn't just pointing and clicking. I was actually navigating and having fun with the game. So that said, let's see where we're at here. Okay, last time I went and checked my time, I realized I hadn't hit record. So I do want to jump in here. So that is how I died. Um, and so to give you an idea, the the other things that I want to show you here before I get moving is this is more of an exposition video, I guess. Uh, I'm explaining things. My new ship, the Kamachka, comes from a ship in the Russian Navy in the early 1900s. Um, I just learned about this ship from, again, another free video. I love historical video channels, and I am a World War II shipping naval buff, but I know very little about things before that. And if you've watched my previous videos, I talked about how I wanted to get into a dreadnought down way, way, way down the road. My first capital ship. And the reason why is this fellow here who makes videos, does some great historical videos. This was made about 2 years ago. This is part one of a part two series of pre-dreadnought battleships, I think. Um, but an amazing story about the Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron, Voyage of the Damned. I know this sounds like some sort of B-movie, horror movie, but it isn't. How this story was ever made or not made into a movie is incredible to me. I Actually, I'm going to hit a like on here. Um, I laughed so many times. There is a ship in this fleet called the Kamachka, which he makes so much fun of. But what happened in this fleet? They were basically traveling. It was during the Russian-Japanese War of the early 1900s. Um, Japan was attacking a harbor or during the war on the western side of the Russian Empire. The Russians decided they want to get their fleet around, their major fleet around from the eastern side to the western side. So they sent this fleet around from northwestern Russia, where near Norway and Sweden, all the way around under Africa through the Indian Ocean up through um, Malaysia and that sort of area. And the story of that trip and how many mistakes they made, I could not believe. And it's a two-parter. It's about 40 minutes each of each video. It's very historically based. He does make fun, but he makes a bunch of fun of this ship called the Kamachka. And as bumbling and as stupid as I'm going to be playing over the next couple weeks in my new ships, every one of them, until I find something different, is going to be named the Kamachka because of this ship. It is so funny. So if you get a chance, watch those videos. The last thing that I want to talk about today is I am back in my ship. So, get a little preview there. Now that I'm home, the last thing that I need to work on for my exploration skills is my frigate. I talked about that in a prior video. I want to do my Amar Frigate 4, that will cap that out, and it will cap out all of my skilling up for um, exploration as an alpha character, and I can start working on some other things. So one thing that I wanted to point out was, notice I've been able to drop in a bunch of skills here. Um, the reason why I wanted to talk about this here was sometimes you get to a point where you're like, I don't know what I want to do next, or what's the next thing, or that I got my exploration skills. Do I want to fly a certain ship? Do I want to do a certain thing? Sometimes you're just stuck, and you're like, and then you just throw a skill in because you just need something running. Well, what I went ahead and did was, there's a great, again, site by Eve University called um, the Magic 14. There it is. So this site is great for beginners. It gives you a list of 14 skills that will basically help you fly any ship. These are great skills to have in the background, so that if you're not sure what to skill up, just throw these in there. They're skills that maybe you aren't as flashy, but in reality help you more than you would think. All of them, if not most of them, will affect every ship's gameplay. Um, some of them take a while to skill up, like CPU management and power grid management. You may not want to do these because they're not flashy. You can't fire your gun any faster or do more damage with it. But what you can do is put on bigger and better guns if you get these on, or bigger and better um, shields or things like that, because your power grid and your CPU are up. Other things here are like mechanics, hull upgrades that give you more armor, shield bonuses here, targeting, um, navigation stuff. But basically, this is a great set of 14 skills. If you haven't heard about it, check it out. It's the Magic 14 of Eve University's site. Um, I like that. This page is not intended to be a skill plan. This is a list of support skills. So these are all support skills. Um, it's funny, you don't even read that stuff. But one huge suggestion if you're just starting out, what I like to do is exactly what I did. I took all those skills and dropped them in to my skill plan. Doesn't mean that I'm going to do them all at once, but they're at the back. So anything that I'm currently working on, like my Amar frigate, um, I've got 2 days left for that sucker. Um, Once it's done with that, it will just roll into these other ones that are here, and I can move them around to get better ones up, that sort of thing. And then if I decide I want to, let's say I move into my first frigate, my first um, combat frigate, I can throw in the gunnery skills in front of these, get those taken care of, and then it just rolls right back into doing them. And just to show you, this is a great time to show it because it'll tell you. Remember that 100 days that I was talking about earlier? Well, the last skill that I needed to throw in here for the Magic 14 was the spaceship command, and that's 1 day, 17 hours. Boom. So we're just drop that in here. There we go. So to do all of the Magic 14 skills for me, um, over the next, will take 75 days minus the 2 days. So 73 days to skill these out. So again, you're not going to get this right away. There's a couple of skills in here. A couple of them that take 9 days to get to level 5. A 19-dayer, that's the whole upgrades. That's going to be let's put that at the end. I don't want to mess around with that one yet. So what I'll end up doing is at some point I'll reorganize all these. They're all here now. I've got a day or two before I want to reorganize them. And then once I fly my first combat frigate, I'll throw those skills at the beginning and then just keep rolling through them. So, and you can do, it looks like here, up to 150 skills in your training queue. It never hurts to have that there. So let's say I go on vacation or I go someplace that I have no internet access. I think you can use now the online app phone to change your skills. But if not, I can just let this roll. Um, so, got that there, ready to roll. Other than that, I think that's about it for the day. 25 minutes. So, what do I want to do? I want to get back to where I was at. We want to get back to F7 ICZ, but I think I have saved. There it is. Pay, yes. Set destination. Oh, I'm only 4 jumps away. So this spot here is actually not too bad. We're going to go ahead and undock and get on my way there. Good, good, good. So, where am I going to? I'm going to pay right here. It's only 3 jumps out of F7Z. And there's Pasha right there. Oh, I did not realize I was that close. Well, that's fantastic. Oh, shoot. Last but not least, I do need to dock back up real quick. Why? Because after doing the free, I use this second group of career agents. Boy, I can't remember. I hope I'm not repeating myself here. Because in the last video I did talk about this, but then it didn't record. Just show it here. If you lose your ship, go get another free one. How do you do that? If you do career agents, Uniwiki, scroll down. There are 12 career agent locations. I originally started off in Dapari, got my free ship there. It is now blown up. I went to Pasha, which is also an Amar career agent, and did their exploration missions. And if this one dies, I can go to Kanoban. I think Kanaban, and get another free one. I can do those missions, get free money, whatever. So I was able to get a free ship there. But the other thing I did in my last video was I showed you. Let's see here. Yep. I had a civilian data and relic analyzer. You need to dump these and buy new ones. Now the question is, did I buy new ones? I can't remember if I did or not while I was setting this up yesterday. I did not. So, good. Glad I caught that before I left. Let's go. Relic. Good, good, good. Relic analyzer. Good. Station. Don't care. Buy this. Buy. And then data. Why am I not checking prices? Because to be frank, I'm not too worried about 10,000 ISK difference. Now this one was actually the lowest price out of all of them. Because it would take me, if it was a system away, it's not worth it for me to take and jump there. There we go. So we are all set. Why not just drop these on here? I don't care. Get the junk out. Okay, so that's good. We are ready to roll. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to be working my way back up into Stain and having a little bit of fun there, see if I can get any farther. Maybe I'll die even sooner. But I do have my save spots. One really nice thing about doing what I'm doing right now is it is so helpful for me for the future because I'm learning what the areas are like, and then I'm also setting up the save spots that may save me in the future. If I had had a save spot in the system that I died in, I might have been able to get away because I might not have had to do that second turn to find a spot to get out of. So still a lot to learn, but living the life and having some fun. You guys have a great day. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however the heck you want. This is Planethead. Have a good one. Bye-bye.